of it? Has Peter said, like, well, look, I'm already doing these two. Why don't you let me get some fullback reps?
Hey, don't let him hear that, man. He may be asking for it, but if he gets this down, then you never know. You never know.
When it comes to TJ Parker, someone that was thrust into a lot of playing time as a freshman, how big was it for him to be successful in doing so, and how have you seen his game grow heading into year two?
You know, his game is really taken off. He gained a lot of weight this spring. Off season, I think he got up to like 275 pounds. And if you saw him in the spring, and he knows it, he was out of shape. I wasn't happy with where he was, and then all of a sudden, he's texting me pictures now. He's like 260 pounds, so I'm just like, I'm happy for him. But I mean, his progression and where he is, the sky's the limit for this guy. I mean, he's with him and potentially Pete on the edges. I can't imagine two better defensive ends in the country.
Do you see Peter as being majority one spot or the other? Or do you like the idea that it could be, 75-25, 50-50?
I think a lot of that's going to be game plan, and then there's also going to be the development of the guys behind him. Those guys really step it up, and then we're like, you know what? We won't lose anything or lose much if we put him inside full-time and then have this guy at the defensive end full-time. So we don't want to rob Peter to pay Paul. We want to sort of like balance it out, but we also want to get our best 11 on the football field as well.
Who do you think are the guys that are really kind of challenging to make that situation occur?
We got a couple guys, a few guys. You got Denhoff, a guy who's been around a while. You got Shaq Lawson. You got AJ, and then you got Zaire Patterson. So those guys, the beautiful thing about those guys is that they're different body types, and so we just got to make sure that we're putting those guys in the best position to be successful.
I guess Jaheim Lawson, where is he physically in terms of? I know he was a guy who came to college like 200, 210 pounds. Kind of where is he physically?
He's strong. He's quick twitch. He can rush the passer, I'll tell you that much. He can really rush the passer, and he's improving on, stopping the run. So I just tell him, if you want to rush the passer, to get the three, you got to go through first. And so you got to be a good run stopper.
Things you're really emphasizing or you want to emphasize this fall?
Just, like I said, toughness, understanding the game, being a student of the game, and understanding football situations, and just being a really good all-around football player and finding your niche in this defense.
With Parker, I guess he had to work on his upper body this offseason as well. TJ?
Yeah.
Maybe an area that...
Well, he's just fat. So he had to work on all of it.
Yeah.
But he's done that, and, he had a little knee, so he wasn't able to really... I think the main thing is just getting his lower extremities stronger because of the knee and stuff like that. And so I think that hurt him a little bit, not being able to get in the condition. But now he's healthy, he's looking good, he's out there running, lifting, and I'm excited for him.
You mentioned it's hard to imagine two better ends in the country than these two, but they're both sophomores, and like you just mentioned, he was a little bit more out of shape than you wanted him. Is that a tough thing? I mean, these guys are still very young players, so they have to shoulder more responsibility. And I just didn't know if you had any reflection.
Yeah, it's tough, man. When you get a guy that young and he's having not only the success on the football field, but now we're looking for him to be a leader. And before he's been sort of like, you don't want your leaders. You want an older guy. You want a junior, senior to be the leader. But now these guys are sophomores, true sophomores, and they're almost the face of our group. So it's been it's going to have to be a coaches-led leadership until those guys, get the reins and run with it. And I think from what I've been hearing this summer, those guys have been trying to do that.
What makes Jaheim unique as a pass rusher? Is it his first step?
Who's that?
Jaheim Lawson.
That's first step, man. He's so quick. It helps when your brother plays in the NFL also, and, he's telling him some little tricks and some secrets and stuff like that. But he just understands, it's going to sound crazy, but he knows his body. He knows what he can do, what he can't do, and he knows his strengths, his weaknesses, and he's just has it. He's just a natural.
If you're playing tackle, who would you not want to stay in front of, Peter or TJ? You had to pick one.
Run or pass?
Pass.
Pass. Damn. That's a tough one. Because, both of them TJ is sneaky strong as well.
I assume your answer for run, you'd rather go against TJ.
Yeah, I'll take my chances versus 260 than instead of 300 plus. So I'll go with TJ.
Speaking of blocking, it goes back a ways, but I know you had some battles against Matt Luke in your SEC days way back when. What do you think of him as a coach, and what have you seen through spring about what that offensive line looks like?
Man, I tell you what, we've had some really good battles, and not only, it's one thing to being a good coach, but when your players adapt your identity and they play with that toughness and that grit and that straining, and that's one of the things that has always impressed me about Matt is that I thought his guys always played hard for him. And a lot of times you don't get that. Kids just go out there and they play, but I think with his group and who he is and what he does, his kids really, really play hard for him, and they want to see my coach be successful.
The biggest difference between playing in the NFL compared to college, just responsibility-wise, and maybe the difficulty of learning.
For as when you talking about technique, you're talking about.
Well, I guess what I'm maybe getting at is, maybe more horizontal stuff in college. Maybe not anymore. There's a lot of it in the NFL now.
I think probably college. There's a lot of some unorthodox formations that you can get in college that you're not going to get in the pros. There's some run schemes that you're going to get in college that you definitely won't get in the pros. So I think the menu that a college guy has to go against for us offensively is probably more in college than it is in pro. But in the league, that guy you're going against is a werewolf. Every week is a werewolf.
That's what you're seeing from Jaheim also. It's in there somewhere. Are you starting to see a player come out that can be impactful on Saturdays?
Yeah, we were just talking about Jaheim and how impressed we are with him, how pleased we are with him, especially with his pass rushing ability. And I think right now that's going to be his calling card until he becomes a guy that's dominant on first, second down. But I think his calling card right now is just pass rushing. And he's doing a really good job. He's accepted his role as of now, and he's just getting better every day.
I guess we're not in camp yet, but DAR Mayo, who just got here, what have you seen from him in terms of what he looks like physically, and do you have any kind of expectation level for?
I just want him to come in, learn the defense, and I don't care what you do, just do it full speed and do it with balance, and I'll coach up the rest of the stuff.
I guess he's 6'7".
He's a big boy.
Yeah, how do you coach a defensive end that tall?
Oh man, hey, you coach him just like you coach the rest of them. And there's some things that he's not going to be able to do. He won't be able to bend, and he won't have the first step quickness as Jaheim, but Jaheim won't have the length that he has as well. So you sort of cater around what he can do, what he can't do. You coach him up on the things that he can't do, and you just polish up the things that he can do.
How much do you think you benefit coaching alongside Coach Eason?
How much of who?
How much do you think you benefit from coaching alongside?
Oh man, just his experience as a player in the NFL. He's a coach in the NFL. He and I had a relationship prior to me coming here, so it's going to be really exciting. He's challenging me, I'm challenging him. We're getting in the meeting rooms trying to come up with ideas of, how can we take these guys to the next level. Me learning from him, he's learning from me, and learning from the players. So it's really exciting. It's really exciting to have a guy with that kind of knowledge and, his background to be able to just, sit in the room and just chop it up with him.
Hustler hasn't gotten a lot of preseason life. He hasn't played a whole lot. What are his assets right now, and where do you kind of see him need to take the next step?
I think he's becoming an all-around football player. I think, I'm not sure, but I think when he first got here, I think he just tried to focus on rushing and passing. But now he's really taking a liking into, playing with some toughness, playing with an edge, and he's becoming a total player. And so I'm looking for him to take another step this spring, this summer right here in camp.
Do you think the defense has changed or evolved since your first stint here, or is it very similar?
It's probably more aggressive. It's more aggressive, and it's more probably more player friendly. for instance, a guy like Jaheim probably wouldn't get an opportunity to play as much because he didn't fit the mold before. But now with the defense, with the flexibility, okay, what can he do? What can this guy do? Okay, let's put him in this situation. Let's create this package where we can maximize his ability. And now, you don't have a guy like himself or AJ or Keke Denhoff or whoever sitting on the sideline because they're not really good run stoppers, but these guys can rush the passing, and they're just sitting on the sideline. So, Coach Goodwin has done a really good job of finding roles for him and allowing me and Coach Eason and the rest of the staff to try to get those guys in the best position to be successful.
You had you lost one defensive end after the spring. How did you guys evaluate that position? Who'd you move up of there, or are you going to help with the depth? And also, did you guys even look at the portal to see maybe if somebody you could find?
No, Coach Sweeney asked, did I want to go in the portal and get anybody? And I was like, no, I was happy with the depth and the people that we have on the team right now. So when he decided to leave, hey, for whatever reason, wish him much success, but we got to keep moving.
Going back to Darian Mayo, him getting here in early May, does that give him a leg up, maybe being in the spring?
He got a little later. He got late. He's only been here a few weeks, about 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. So it was late May when he got in. So he's just trying to, get acclimated to, the running, the lifting, and just trying to coordinate his body because this next few months he's going to grow, he's going to get stronger, he's going to get bigger, he's going to get faster. So just trying to coordinate all that together and now mold into a football player. So it'll be an interesting camp for him. I wish he couldn't have gotten here early, but he's here now, so we're happy and we're going to continue to develop him.
Talk about guys having different roles. What kind of role could Keke Denhoff have? What sets him apart in terms of his skill set?
I think Keke Denhoff I think his ability to play along the entire defensive line, not all ability, but just the knowledge of the game. So you feel good when you have him in. You can put him in any situation, and he's going to be able to adapt to it, where some guys is just at this position and that position, where Denhoff, he can go here, can go there, he can do a lot of different things. So when you put him in, you're not even worried about, falling off or him making mistakes and stuff like that, because he's going to do his job.
Is the story going to still be in him? Is Kate still going to work at end?
Yes.
You mentioned some of the stuff that you aren't asked to do or asked not to do that some other coaches have to do. Mind sharing some specifics on, or is there an example of something that just Dabo does differently that other coaches would love to be in that scenario?
Yeah, it's a lot of them. Just the recruiting process. We pride ourselves in who we offer. You go look at some of these other schools; they got 400 offers out there. How can you recruit 400 kids? How can you recruit 200 kids? So a lot of those guys, they're doing things. They're just going out there this school offer. Oh, you got an offer. They're running over here. They're running over there, and there's no substance in it. So they're going all over the country trying to recruit, where we just, we're like a sniper. They shoot a shot.
But, I feel like there is some external criticism of Dabo for not using the portal, for example, more. But I assume you see this as an asset in being very sure of who you are and what you're doing as a culture and as a program, that you can be targeted, as opposed to saying, let's cast the widest freaking net possible and hope we pull something in.
Yeah, we're intentional about who we bring in here. And our guys, they don't leave, and I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure that our guys will get tampered with, and guys are offering them money. And we'll be fools if we think that they're not. But our guys are staying there happy, and so we don't really have to go in the portal. We got a guy leaves here, guy leaves there, but our depth and how we recruit it and how we develop our guys, we feel strong about it. And we have, if there's a need, all of a sudden you got 4 or 5 defensive ends leave, and we need to go in the portal, then we'll go in the portal for that. But right now our retention rate is high, and so we're happy. I'm happy.
I guess as this program's approach to
minutes for Coach Rumph.
NIL in terms of we're not getting into bidding wars and things like that? Does that simplify things as well in terms of you're putting other things first?
Yeah, when that happens, it identifies the kid who you're dealing with. That kid wants to, he's going to school to get paid, or he's going to get an education, become a better young man, a better football player, and set himself up for life. And in the meantime, get some NIL. Those are kids that we want. But if you come for money, you'll leave for money.
I guess Coach Eason's talking about being in the NFL. He obviously has that experience. In terms of talking to the players about financial literacy and that being
Oh, it's big.
How much do you talk to them?
Oh, all the time. All the time. We talking about, I give them plenty of examples of guys that I've known is taking care of their money, guys that's blown their money. Sometimes we get players on, former players of mine that's still in the NFL. We get them to call in and give those guys some advice about their money and what they should be doing and how they need to be saving. I tell them, and this is what I haven't told those kids, but I tell my boys is, you live today like nobody else, so you can live tomorrow like nobody else.
I guess are there any players that you coach in the NFL that were similar to a Peter Woods, or is he pretty unique in terms of his skills?
No, I'm not gonna do Peter like that. He's still a sophomore, so he has a little ways to go to get some of those guys. So he's going in the right direction, but he's not there yet. Got a little ways to go.
Last question.
Appreciate it, fellas, man. Y'all have a blessing.